This is already my house. If you don't like it, feel free to leave,
my mother-in-law declared. When I returned home, I was shocked to find my estranged mother-in-law there, spouting such audacious words. What? I exclaimed, utterly bewildered. I had been in Hawaii for my sister's wedding, away from home for 3 nights and 4 days. Somehow, during my absence, my mother-in-law had moved in and taken up residence. And the mastermind behind this move? None other than my husband, her son. When I confronted my husband, what he revealed was beyond anything I could have anticipated. My name is Olivia. I'm 29 years old and work in sales. During my student days, I was dedicated to my studies and landed a job at a major insurance company right after graduation. People often refer to me as a career woman, and it's true. I love my work and give it my all every day. However, my romantic life has been a complete failure. I've never had a proper relationship with the opposite sex. But even for someone like me, a turning point arrived. On that particular day, my schedule was packed with client appointments, making it an unusually hectic day. I needed to visit a client's home to finalize a contract, but I barely made it out of the office in time. Hastily grabbing the necessary documents, I rushed out. Can I make it in time somehow? I muttered to myself as I hurried toward the train station. Suddenly, I felt someone calling my name and turned around. There, running toward me with a desperate expression, was a man. He shouted,
"Olivia! Wait!"
"Wait! Michael?" It was Michael, a colleague who worked in the same department. We hadn't spoken much, just exchanged greetings in passing. Michael caught up with me, gasping for breath, and handed me something. "What's this?" It was the documentation I needed for the upcoming client meeting. "Wait a minute! Why is this here?" I checked the materials I had brought and realized they were meant for a different client. Apparently, in my haste, I had grabbed the wrong documents.
"I happened to pass by your desk and noticed these documents were left behind. I chased after you in a panic. I'm glad I made it in time."
"Thank you. Without these documents, I would have lost the client's trust." I repeatedly expressed my gratitude, flustered by the mistake I rarely made. But Michael just smiled at me, radiating warmth like the sun.
"It was my pleasure to help, Olivia. Take care on your way."
Thanks to him, I successfully closed the contract that day. This incident became the catalyst for us to engage in frequent conversations, and we gradually progressed to going out for meals, naturally transitioning into a relationship. He was 2 years older than me, with a calm demeanor and a hearty laugh. Our relationship blossomed smoothly, and after exactly 2 years of dating, we decided to get married. I was filled with anticipation for the happy married life that lay ahead. However, trouble arose early in our marriage, trouble in the form of my mother-in-law. My father-in-law had passed away 5 years prior, leaving my mother-in-law living alone. Her house was conveniently close to ours, and she would frequently visit, always with a request for money. My mother-in-law would grin slyly and use a cajoling tone.
"Olivia, you're a high earner, right? Could you spare some pocket money?"
While our interactions before marriage had led me to believe she was a reserved and kind person, her true colors emerged as soon as we tied the knot. Despite my repeated refusals, "I can't give you money," she persisted relentlessly, leaving me exasperated. Her spending habits were extravagant. She would use up every penny she had. To top it off, she even called my sister, asking for financial help. Fed up with the situation, I decided to seek Michael's assistance. I implored. Hey, could you talk to your mom about stopping this constant money request? She even called my sister. You said we shouldn't entertain her, but why should we put up with it? Please ask your mom to stop. Michael's response was vague.
Sure. I'll mention it next time.
Little did I know that Michael had a soft spot for his mother, a classic case of being a mama's boy. To him, criticizing his beloved mother was probably worse than my mother-in-law. Subsequent attempts to address the issue yielded similar results. Michael's advice was always along the lines of Mom has her quirks, or you don't have to give her money, just ignore her. It's as if I'm expected to endure and smile through it all. As expected, he never explicitly conveyed my concerns to his mother. To make matters worse, my mother-in-law nitpicked my housekeeping methods, adding to my frustration. I was truly at my wit's end with her. Amidst all this, my aging mother-in-law, weakened by health issues, began hinting that she wanted to move in with Michael and me in our spacious home. Although she hadn't explicitly stated it, I had sensed her intentions. Then one day, Michael approached me with the following revelation.
Hey, Mom is feeling anxious due to her declining health, so she's expressing a desire to live with us. Honestly, I think it's a good idea. What do you think, Olivia?
Cohabitation? Absolutely out of the question. I categorically refuse. Without hesitation, I firmly rejected the idea. My straightforward response seemed to irk Michael, who exploded in anger and shouted at me.
What's with that tone? Mom genuinely wants to live with us.
I shot back, equally furious. Fine, let me ask you, what benefit do I gain from this? Dealing with her constant money requests is already stressful, and she criticizes my housekeeping even when we're living separately. Mentally, I'm already stretched thin. How can we possibly handle round-the-clock cohabitation?
What benefit? She's family. Did you only consider the benefits when you married me?
Our heated argument continued, with neither of us willing to budge. The day ended without resolution, and the next day, we were still at odds. Amidst all this, my sister's wedding in Hawaii was fast approaching, and I was busy preparing, choosing dresses and making arrangements. Our parents had tragically passed away in a car accident 3 years ago, and with other relatives distant, my sister remained my only blood-related family. Her name is Sophia, 3 years older than me. We've always been close since childhood, able to share anything even when it was difficult to discuss with our parents. When I heard about my beloved sister's upcoming wedding, I felt joy as if it were my own celebration. I eagerly looked forward to the wedding day. Since my sister's wedding date had been set before Michael and I got married, he wouldn't be attending. I was the only one scheduled to be there. About 5 days into our ongoing argument, Michael surprised me by apologizing.
I'm sorry. I went too far. If you don't want cohabitation, we won't do it.
Huh? I was taken aback. His words brought relief, and I replied, "Thank you. I apologize for being forceful."
Yeah, it's okay. By the way, Sophia's wedding is coming up, right? You'll be in Hawaii for 3 nights and 4 days. Have a great time.
His smile warmed my heart, and I responded, "Thanks. I'll take lots of photos and videos." And so, we reconciled, looking forward to my sister's wedding and enjoying peaceful days together. The long-awaited wedding day arrived. The venue, with its large windows overlooking the beautiful Hawaiian Sea, was enchanting. My heart swelled as I watched my sister in her stunning wedding dress, and tears flowed freely as I witnessed her radiant smile. Sophia's husband, David, whom I had met several times before, was a reliable and wonderful person. With David by her side, I knew my sister would be well taken care of. I wholeheartedly celebrated their union. After the wedding, I thoroughly enjoyed sightseeing in Hawaii during my 3-night, 4-day stay. Finally, I returned home. "I'm back," I called out as I opened the front door of our house. To my surprise, there stood my mother-in-law.
"Olivia, welcome home,"
she said, her tone gruff. Were you here?" I stammered. She snorted.
"Of course. This is my home now too. Serve me well, won't you?"
Her words left me dumbfounded. "What?" I managed to reply, my mind racing. I hurried into the living room, where Michael was lounging on the sofa. "What's going on? Why is your mom here? We agreed not to cohabit." I confronted him. Michael nonchalantly responded,
You're making a fuss. The cohabitation thing was a lie. While you were in Hawaii, I moved her stuff in. From today, the three of us will live together.
My anger surged. Apparently, Michael had orchestrated his mother's move during my absence, intending to impose cohabitation without my consent. "What's that? You deceived me."
Deceived? What's the big deal? It's just an opportunity for you to be filial. After all, you don't have real parents anymore, so why not take advantage of this chance?
Michael, who says such things with a smirk, is incredibly off-putting. My mother-in-law joins in, rallying behind.
"Exactly. You should cherish me more. How about starting with a massage from me?"
That's right, Olivia. From now on, make sure to give Mom her massage every day. Also, about Mom's room, climbing the stairs to the second floor might be difficult, so I'll arrange for her to have the room on the first floor.
Unable to tolerate their presumptuous conversation, I raised my voice. "Enough. Stop this nonsense. You're both despicable for doing this without my consent." I couldn't hold back my anger as I shouted. Michael scowled and yelled at me.
What's with that attitude? From today on, we're living together. If you don't like it, get out.
As Michael continued his verbal assault, he added insult to injury.
Well, your parents are already in the afterlife, and you don't even have a family home to return to, do you?
He laughs mockingly. Upon hearing those words, my feelings toward Michael plummeted to freezing temperatures. "Fine. Let's get a divorce and settle everything," I said quietly. Michael and my mother-in-law burst into laughter.
Go ahead and try if you can. Do you even have the guts to get a divorce? You've got nowhere to go, after all. Well, I'm all for divorce too. Besides, you're not even cute. Just because you're good at your job doesn't mean you can act all high and mighty.
Michael taunted. My mother-in-law chimed in.
"Michael's right. You earn money, but you never give me any allowance. You're so rebellious. A wife like you should leave immediately."
I had already resolved to cut ties with these people, so I remained silent, ignoring their continued verbal abuse. Taking advantage of my silence, they continued their tirade, but I paid them no mind. Instead, I reached into my bag, pulled out my phone, and made a call to someone. The ringing tone echoed, and I waited patiently for the other end to pick up. Michael, puzzled, asked.
Huh? Who are you calling?
Just as he spoke, the person on the other side answered, and I began my conversation. Hello, Sophia? Yes, the person I dialed was my sister, Sophia.
Thank you so much for coming to my wedding. Have you made it home?
Yeah, I'm back. It was truly a beautiful wedding. Congratulations again. But there's something I've decided. I've been worried about you, so I wanted to tell you right away. As I spoke, both Michael and my mother-in-law watched with bated breath. I've decided to get a divorce from Michael. And about the house. It's too big for just me, and there are no plans for reconstruction. So, I'll take care of the whole property. I declared loudly. My announcement left Michael and my mother-in-law in shock.
What?
They exclaimed. Sophia, delighted by my decision, assured me.
If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know.
I thanked her and hung up the phone. At that moment, Michael hurled insults at me.
What the hell are you saying? Are you planning to bulldoze the entire property? Ridiculous!
My mother-in-law chimed in.
Exactly. Besides, isn't Michael the legal owner of both the land and the house? You can't just decide something like that on your own.
Caught off guard by my mother-in-law's words, Michael stammered.
Well, that's...
Ignoring their puzzled expressions, I asserted firmly. There seems to be a misunderstanding. I am the legal owner of this house and the land.
What? Wait, that can't be true. Michael told me he was the owner.
She looked at Michael, seeking confirmation.
Right? You are the owner, aren't you?
Michael remained silent, avoiding eye contact. I addressed him quietly. Michael, I suspected as much. You've been lying to your mom about being the owner. Why would you do that? Frustrated, Michael blurted out.
Because you earn more than I do. The loan approval for this house hinged on my salary, but it didn't go through. Eventually, you became the legal owner. My pride as a man was hurt. So, I kept up the facade with Mom.
You pretended to be the owner to bask in her praise. I retorted. Michael mumbled.
Yeah, that's right. The lie snowballed, and I started believing it myself.
Michael and I work at the same company, but our roles are quite different. I'm in sales, while Michael is in an administrative position. The salary gap between us is significant. Thanks to the support of those around me, I consistently achieve results, earning a substantial salary that qualifies me as a high earner within the company. However, Michael's pay is honestly quite low, considering we work for the same organization. Interestingly, there are other administrative staff members who receive decent salaries. Michael, on the other hand, lacks motivation and often seems content to wait for instructions. Even when he's capable of handling tasks, he readily delegates them to junior colleagues. While he maintains a pleasant demeanor, it's clear that he isn't highly regarded within the department. Michael belittles administrative roles, often slacking off, yet he expresses no desire to transfer to other departments or seek better paying opportunities elsewhere. He constantly reminds me that promotions lead to immediate pay increases and that administrative positions offer stability compared to the fluctuating earnings of sales roles. Given the substantial salary disparity, splitting our daily expenses evenly wasn't feasible. Consequently, I shouldered not only the home loan but also most of our living expenses. My mother-in-law, under the impression that Michael built this house, had often praised him. Now, Faced with the shocking truth, she stood there dumbfounded. But soon, her expression shifted to one of panic, and she urgently questioned me.
Wait! You're not serious about selling the entire property, are you? What will happen to Michael and me? I was planning to move in here, and I've already started the process to vacate my previous home.
I don't know. Michael and I are getting a divorce, so we're no longer family. As for the future, that's something you and Michael will have to figure out. My cold response left Michael clinging to me. Desperation etched on his face. He pleaded.
Let's reconsider the divorce. I messed up earlier. Got carried away. Olivia, I need you. Divorce is out of the question.
Perhaps finally sensing the gravity of his situation, he clung to me. But I sighed heavily. Do you think an apology erases everything? I can't continue as your wife. I don't even want to see your face. For now, I'll stay at a hotel, but rest assured, I'll proceed with selling the house and land. As I spoke, both of them turned pale, trembling. I'll give you some time to move out. You can't do it overnight. But if you continue living here without taking any action, I'll take legal measures to evict you. Find your next place soon. With that, I picked up my essentials and left the house. Michael called out.
Wait!
But I ignored him and my mother-in-law, walking away. Afterward, Michael continued to resist our divorce, but I had meticulously documented his and my mother-in-law's verbal abuse. As a result, the divorce was swiftly settled through mediation. My biggest concern was that Michael and my mother-in-law wouldn't leave the house voluntarily. However, it turned out to be an unfounded worry. Perhaps hearing my firm declaration that I would take legal action to evict them, they fled as soon as the divorce was finalized. Thanks to this, I was able to demolish the house and clear the land. While selling the entire property was an option, it seems that around here, more people prefer custom-built homes over existing ones. I learned that selling just the land is more appealing to potential buyers, even if it involves covering some construction costs. During the process of clearing the land, Michael and my mother-in-law, left with no place to go, moved to a public housing complex. Meanwhile, I found a new home, completed my move, and simultaneously decided to quit my job. I left my job for 2 reasons. First, I couldn't bear the thought of remaining in the same workplace as Michael, and second, my new residence was quite far from the company. And now, I'm working enthusiastically at my new workplace. Interestingly, this company is owned by none other than my sister's husband, David. You see, I've been confiding in my sister about Michael and my mother-in-law, and she empathized with me, consistently encouraging me to pursue a divorce. David highly values my work performance, and when I decided to divorce and quit my job, he extended an invitation to work at his company. So, I've officially been headhunted by David's company. Like my previous workplace, David's company also deals with insurance. It's what you'd call a competitor in the industry. I've been diligently working there, achieving more and more success. With the weight of divorce lifted, I can wholeheartedly focus on my job, and every day feels incredibly fulfilling. David expressed his gratitude, saying,
Having you join our company, Olivia, has been fantastic. Your reputation with clients is outstanding, and you keep securing contracts one after another. Thank you so much.
His praise only fueled my determination, and I continue to work diligently day by day. It seems that my reputation has also reached my previous company. Realizing they let go of a talented employee, the company is now desperate to recover. Although it's an industry with frequent job changes, Michael's situation, leaving due to marital issues, has made him a pariah among colleagues. As Michael became isolated, his inability to perform work efficiently became evident. While he had previously excelled at pretending to work with his cheerful demeanor and personality, without those traits, he revealed himself as a mediocre mid-level employee lacking motivation and initiative. The tasks he could handle dwindled rapidly, and he became even more isolated. Unable to withstand the judgmental glances from everyone, Michael finally resigned. Despite considering a job change to administrative roles, it didn't go smoothly for him. I learned from former colleagues that he and my mother-in-law are now living a frugal life together. My mother-in-law seems to have started working part-time, but being inherently lazy, she didn't quite understand the concept of working in society. She'd casually skip work without notice, and unsurprisingly, she was promptly fired. She reached out to me once over the phone, seeking help.
Olivia, please! Can't you reconcile with Michael? I can't bear this impoverished life anymore. Michael is always irritable and yells at me. Please, help us!
I could tell she was feigning tears on the other end of the line. It was probably an attempt to evoke sympathy. I decline. Why should I be the one to help? My cold response only fueled her desperation.
Don't say that. We were family, weren't we? Can't you see how much the elderly suffer? If reconciling with Michael is difficult, at least give us some money. Just a little. Please.
I won't reconcile with your son, nor will I give you any money. Please don't call me again. With that, I hung up unilaterally. Immediately, I set my mother-in-law's number to block incoming calls. Of course, I'd done the same for Michael's number. The divorce was finalized, and property division settled. I had no need to contact them anymore. Finally, I could breathe a sigh of relief. Another year has passed, and I'm still working diligently at David's company. Although I don't have a romantic partner, I've grown content with my current life. I've had enough of love's ups and downs. My relationship with my sister remains strong, and we meet frequently. Recently, my sister revealed that she's expecting a baby, and I eagerly await the new addition to our family. One day, while visiting the area where I used to live during my marriage to Michael, I witnessed a disheveled man under a bridge. He wore tattered clothes, his hair unkempt, and a wild beard. To my surprise, it was Michael. Seeing his drastically changed appearance evoked both pity and a momentary pause. I'd heard from former colleagues that Michael's job search was limited to administrative roles, which made it challenging for him. However, with his personality and natural brightness, he could have excelled in other fields beyond administrative work. Back when we were happily married, I had even suggested he explore career paths where those qualities could shine. My words seemed to have fallen on deaf ears, as evidenced by his current state. But we are strangers now. Michael's circumstances are the result of his own choices. I averted my gaze, realizing there was nothing more I could say. And so, I continued walking forward, leaving him behind.
How did you find this story? If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to our channel. Until next time.